how do you handle things on the road?
Yep.
Well, it would be really difficult, Pollywog, if I didn't enjoy what I do. And if it was a real challenge to get out there on stage. Now, sometimes, and you've experienced it as well, you're sick, you don't feel good, and you're tired, whatever, and you have to get out there on stage. But there's something that happened to me during the first day of rehearsals of Joseph that changed my life and changed my perspective of show business. And that is Stephen Pimlott, or the late Stephen Pimlott, a great Shakespearean director, directed Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And we started talking philosophically about the show and how I'm going to approach this show. And he started asking me about the early days, as you did, of performing with my brothers. And I said, basically, in a nutshell, these people, they bought a ticket, and it's my job to entertain them and turn on as soon as the curtains open. He said, "What? Stop." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You got it all backwards."
Really?
He said, "It's not your job. They bought a ticket for that seat. They didn't buy you. Your only job is to go out there and have a good time. And they're lucky enough to be able to peek into this world that you're having a blast in." Wow. That whole perspective changed everything for me. So when I go on stage now, and sometimes, I work, and you have to work hard. But you have to stop and you say, are you enjoying what you're doing? Sometimes they're here in this vocal booth. I get so frustrated. Why isn't this idea coming? Why isn't this song developing the way I want it to? And then I stop and say, are you enjoying being who you are? Are you enjoying what you're doing? So
Perspective, baby.
Yep. And so when you say, how do you survive out on the road? It's hard being away from home. It's hard, going from hotel to hotel, waking up. And what city am I in now? You have to look at the. But then you say to yourself in those hard times, do you enjoy this? Here's another little tidbit of information. There's nothing like failure, like little Johnny Jones, as we talked about earlier. There's nothing like those moments to make the sweet moments better. And during those difficult moments out on the road, you stop and think, how did you feel during the closing night of Little Johnny Jones? How did you feel when you released this record and there was no action at radio? How did you feel when all of these things have to come into your mind and say, get perspective on what you're doing. You're going out on stage and you're creating music. You're taking You're taking these people in the palm of your hand. I remember watching Elvis Presley in Vegas. He had the audience right in the palm of his hand, and I studied him. How is he doing this? He's having the time of his life because he's the king on stage. And people are just lucky enough to be able to peek into that world. And all of these things, because of experience in my life, has taught me, be grateful. Yeah, you're out on the road, and it's hard, and it's all this stuff. You're making music. You're making people happy. Another quote that Stephen Pimlott gave me, he said, this will change your whole life. Just this saying right here. Are you ready? The theater is a place where people come to dream in public, and you're in charge of that dream.
Oh, is that beautiful?
Isn't that prolific?
Oh.
And when you walk on stage and you realize, I'm in charge of this dream right now. You take it seriously, at least you should take it seriously, and then you start singing, and then you create music. And sometimes I just close my eyes when I sing, and some people think, open your eyes, whatever, No, I go into another world. You've experienced that. Every musician has experienced that. It's another language that we start speaking, and all those people in the audience.
Everybody understands it. That's
exactly.
The key.
It's a language that everybody understands worldwide, and so many people would love to be in your shoes when you're out there on stage creating music.